Greetings, it's Coleraine or Coleraine Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them, and I am so grateful to be creating this Reiki session for you. We are going to be checking in with the chakra points. This is something that I've been wanting to do since I learned more about the chakras and how they are honestly like just mislabeled and misunderstood. So yeah, let's get into it. The chakra points are places where the Pingala, which is the fire nadi or energy channel in the body associated with the right side, meets the Ida nadi, which is the left side of the body, or associated with it because it begins on that side. And these channels, they meet at the chakra points. And so I want to focus on bringing in this sense of movement, activation within the chakra points. And I hope that this session is supportive of you. My cat's here today, and it's going to be a little like mini reading. So I have one tool for each chakra point that was intuitively chosen, and I have a little set of cards for each one as well. There will be timestamps in the description if you want to focus on specific chakra points within the body. Otherwise, let's get started. So we're going to start with the root Muladhara chakra. That is at the base of the spine, and this point, there are other associations within the yogic pathway in terms of colors, but it's definitely anatomically the point of releasing energy, connecting with the body, connecting with family, connecting with where you come from, your home. So there's a lot around grounding and the land and feeling safe in this energy point. So we're going to do the reading, and then I will bring in, I have a rose spray. My cat doesn't like the spray, so she may join us again later. Yes, we're going to bring in this beautiful rose spray. So to start, we have the Judgment card with Capricornus, prioritization, analysis, and practicality. So this, I feel like the energy work, the Reiki that's going to be brought in is going to focus on balancing the practicality and the perspectives that we are focused on from a more spiritual, even a more egoic perspective, like bringing in the physical intelligence that is within the body. And Judgment being an earth card as well, this is talking about really like taking action or taking responsibility and accountability for certain things in our life and the things that we're participating in as well, not just giving our power away or waiting on someone else to make the changes that we believe in. Yeah, and I feel like this is also like really committing to starting something new in the earth, since Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. The yogic pathway card that we have is the Svhadisthana, which is the next chakra that we're going to be pointing out and activating. So there's definitely something here about grounding, enabling us to move that energy, to move up and activate the Svhadisthana so that we can express ourselves properly and be more emotionally connected in our lives. Okay, and the affirmation for the Muladhara is, I have a magnificent purpose that I fulfill even as I rest. And we have, yeah, just a beautiful reminder that in order to activate the Muladhara, we need to be rested, we need to feel connected to our bodies and give ourselves the time to let our mind pull down into the body, to not be so focused on the mind and the head. So I'm going to bring this in. Oh, the spray might be on its last leg, and this is a rose spray. So we're bringing in the essence of rose, the unconditional love, and just wafting that through. You should feel maybe a warmth, your awareness connected to that Muladhara root space, the base of the spine. Feeling an activation and even maybe a lifting of the energy if there's been any heaviness or numbness in this space. Okay, we're going to move on to Svhadisthana because I feel like they're so connected with Svhadisthana coming out. So Svhadisthana is the moon chakra. Chakras also mean wheels, so it is talking about the movement of the nadis. These are going through the Sushumna, the spine. You don't have to remember that, it's okay. But these are the names of the nadis, the energy channels where the life force flows. And so Svhadisthana is that moon point and the point of rest, restoration, our life force channeling through the body to be able to express oneself, to be able to feel sensory experience and pleasure. So we have here the wormhole, serendipity, what does that say? Shortcut and secret link. So this is a reminder that the Svhadisthana, the sacral, whatever we want to call it, is kind of like a secret link between us and the universe, between us and the magic of the earth, like bringing in earth magic, our intuition even, being able to properly move energy through this center helps us to be in touch with our own truth and be able to hold space like empathetically for others. And when it's blocked up, it can be, especially through trauma and relational trauma and even colonial trauma, like all these different methods that you can impose your will on top of someone else's. It's definitely damaging to that area I'm seeing. And I feel like there's just this sense of like a knot there. So the tool that I use, or that I chose to use for this energy center, I'm really excited. I feel like it's going to help to gently and safely and energetically like provoke that area to kind of awaken. So let's see. And even here there's someone sleeping, so it feels like this area, it's really important. I'm even seeing like someone listening to something to help reprogram the mind related to their own sensuality, their own pleasure, their own worth, and things like that. And so there may be like answers online, or even something like this is like kind of shortcutting like the energy that you need, being able to bring it to you. So let's see. The yogic path oracle card, I wanted to check and make sure that I was saying it right, is the niyamas. The niyamas, I believe, are how we connect with others. But let me check. Okay, I was a little mixed up. So the niyamas are actually how we personally connect with our yogic path. And it represents the 8 limbs of yoga. So definitely, again, Svhadisthana, this point in the body is asking for your engagement, bringing in the energy, selecting certain energetic intentions to even bring into this space of creation, this space of surrendering into the life force, surrendering into the suffering and the pleasure of this body, of this life, and also, taking an active participating role in your like interpretation, your physical circumstance, surrendering, of course, at times when you need to surrender, but also recognizing that you can play an active role in shaping that, in connecting with the universe within you as well, finding yourself through this journey. And Svhadisthana is very much like a point of our pure essence. And your affirmation here is, I am graceful amongst success. So Svhadisthana, the SACRAL, talking about finding success and grace and being able to flow with that energy and not turning away by getting distracted or forgetting what the point is, or what we're trying to do. What is your truth? Remaining in contact with that in this point in the body. So we're going to use a cinnamon stick in this point to draw in a Reiki symbol to help activate and generate everything we've just talked about, to help you to be able to feel that gut energy of what is right for you. To listen to your body, to where you're at, to your emotions. You should feel again the energy lifting, and even if there's some discomfort coming forward, that means that things are moving. Maybe your digestive system is moving too. Okay. And there's extra protection and wealth involved too. So if you've been feeling blocks in bringing abundance into your life, or just recognizing the abundance you already have, appreciating and enjoying your life, the cinnamon is going to help with activating that Svhadisthana. Okay. As soon as I picked up the Manipura or Manipuraka solar cards, I just felt this rush of energy. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be overactive at this moment. So we're gonna, activate it and bring in an intention that's more aligned with regulating your nervous system, listening to the rhythms of your body. Yeah, and the first card that we have here is Pluto, which is number 9, finality, distance, and separation. So yeah, definitely the solar plexus is teaching us about detachment and attachment. What are you willing to shed at this time? What is your truth? Even the belly, that navel point of the solar plexus is exposed in this. So it's what do you need to be vulnerable with about yourself? What maybe has your ego even been causing you to hold back, that needs to shine forward? Manipura means the sea of gems. So there's something about your multiplicity, maybe showing a side of you that can coexist with another side. These don't need to be mutually exclusive parts of your personality or your being. And the yoga card that you got is tapas, which I also don't quite know what it is, so one moment. Okay, so this card is actually one of the niyamas. So again, these points, remember, with the movement of this energy, they're connected. And so when one needs to move, it affects the other. And so it's telling this story, the chakra system right now is bringing in tapas because it's a niyama. It's the niyama of self-discipline. So this is about knowing, again, what's right for you, what's wrong for you, what you need to invest in, what choices and decisions are good for you. And also when you're over-disciplining yourself too, when you're keeping yourself from enjoying things or when you're enjoying something that's not good for someone else too, like not taking advantage of that or letting your egoic desires overwrite what's good for the collective which you are a part of. So like I'm getting this message even with that Pluto about separation, like remembering that even though you feel separate, we're still connected, and even when you feel overly connected, you're still a separate being that gets to make your own decisions. Perfect. And the affirmation here is I love being me and discover with curiosity. So yeah, maybe say this to yourself over and over. I love being me and discover with curiosity, letting those old ego patterns go. So I'm going to bring in a little rattle. This is like shells and palm tree seeds and some manganese, bamboo coral, citrine. Yeah, so we're gonna bring in kind of that like oceanic, glittering vibe to kind of bring up the energy, help you to connect with your emotional center. You should feel this around your belly. Breaking apart some of that shame, these false selves, distortions of separateness. Okay. Beautiful. So we are moving on to the heart, the heart center, Anahata. This is the point, I see it as the seat of the soul, the energy point that also radiates into the world, where we find and express unconditional love. Sorry, plant. Yeah, and so the first card here is satellite, support, attraction, and companionship. I wanted to say acceptance. So yeah, there is something about acceptance coming through from the heart space, like accepting yourself where you're at, accepting others in where they are or are not, letting go of the shoulds, the coulds, the woulds, and being really present in the now and seeing what you're attracting at this moment, what you may be even being like a satellite, like circling around. What is your world revolving around right now? Who do you feel like is a companion in the goals that you are working towards? Do you have companionship that feels in alignment with your true self and who you're discovering yourself to be, as we were reminded in the last chakra? So Anahata chakra 16, support, attraction, and companionship. Yeah, who are we running with too? Because these coyotes are like running together. Whenever there's one coyote, there's always a group of them. So who are you surrounding yourself with? How is that affecting your heart chakra? The vibration, the energy that is constantly pouring through and out of your body, circulating through your body as well. And the card we have here from a yogic path is Durga. Durga is... I'm being really drawn to these eyes that she has floating. She is all-seeing. She can break through and slay any demon who comes across her path. So she is a really powerful vanquisher of fears, of illusions, of control, manipulation, everything like this. Durga comes in as a protectress. She has the power of all of these other deities of the Hindu pantheon, and she comes forward because she's made from all of them, riding on her tiger or lion, and she also represents true justice, kind of retribution of like making things balanced again, because when things become out of balance, then Durga has to rise and recalibrate the balance. And so it feels like your heart is ready for this rebalancing of energy, because you may have been taking in too much energy from others, and maybe even like losing a sense of self in that. And so Durga is here to help that energy rise with the snakes, help bring in a sense of like true responsibility and being able to trust and lean on others in healthy ways and be connected to others in a protected manner with good boundaries too. Okay, and you got 2 affirmations for this chakra point. It says, I reside in the present moment. What was I saying as soon as I tapped into this energy? I reside in the present moment where I find my ability to co-create with the universe. Yeah, so this is about asking for what you want. Just as much as Durga comes in to destroy this demon, she also creates when she releases that mass accumulation of this energy. She creates something new when she breaks those things into smaller pieces and creates a new reality that's shared. So there's something too about like creating something that can impact and influence others by being present and being able to stay with multiple different sensations, and really expand into your soul's awareness of what this present moment means as it's connected to many others. And I am healing is the other affirmation. So this is bringing in this awareness of a higher purpose for some suffering that you've gone through, as well as just the compassion that's needed to recognize your capacity from the heart space, your even need in some ways to bring more love into your life and to accept love into your life as well. At this time, because love is such a potent healing medicine for you and for me and for everyone. So there is like a sense of that love being a remedy. So we're going to bring in some sound, and as I'm doing this, I see it's 2222 on my timer. So and we did that for exactly 33 seconds. So, yeah, beautiful. Angel energy. Feeling the opening, the receptivity of this space, and the activation of the strength within that energy center. So we're going to move into the throat. We're moving into the higher chakras. They're sometimes harder to reach. And so it's going to take a lot to bring this energy up here, but we can do it. So we have water, the 8 of water coming through, and this would be like the 8 of cups. And this says hiding from judgment and insecurity. So my cat's back, and she's really using her throat to communicate what she wants right now, which is some love and to be a part of our session. But the equalist here too, the throat is our place of divine expression, of really categorizing things and being able to make something into the most sacred element, which is sound. It's creation. And using our breath too, which is creation, which is life force. And when it's stifled by this energy of hiding from judgment and insecurities, do you see how this horse's head is like cut off? There's so much beauty underneath, but it's keeping this horse from being able to express. And even like say some truths too, with this sword coming out over the third eye. So it really feels like this is all about like finding peace within your unique perspective and knowing that you're not meant to be like everyone else. And I know that's kind of cliche thing to say, but it's like the throat is really this point of uniqueness. And I feel like a lot of you have something that's kind of like blocked there, or the energy is having difficulty moving through this channel. And so we're gonna unblock that, don't worry, but it's definitely stemming from this insecurity and this judgment. And I've encountered quite a few different people in my personal sessions who experience this type of energetic block at that point. And so I'm going to recommend too that like the horse represents freedom and represents like fearless initiative and kind of like reckless abandon at some times, but the horse is also a very domesticated animal. And so there's something about conditioning that's really like maybe even like good there's something about goodness or like escaping punishment or like being like a good girl, good boy. I don't have like a good gender neutral term for that, but you know what I mean, like that kind of young child conditioning, like, oh, if you listen, if you are respectful and polite, like you're gonna please the people around you more, and you won't have to worry about standing out in some ways within that. So there's something about like conformity as well involved in this energy, that's like preventing from speaking up or sharing the true like beauty, the true wisdom that you have. And so let's see what your yogic path card says. This card is Ahimsa, and the lion spirit is so powerful on this card with that full moon energy. And again, there's an eye up here, so awareness, awakening others through your perspective and not being afraid to share what you truly know. And the lion too roars, and I'm thinking of Sekhmet too, who teaches us. The first time I ever worked with Sekhmet, she reached out to me through the throat space and was like, you need to tell your truth and be unapologetic in expressing yourself. Even if it's uncomfortable at sometimes for others, you're allowed to have your voice and to, at the very minimum, express what you're feeling and what you're thinking, because it does help others. And she helped me break through such a barrier with that. So even like yelling, humming, anything you can do with the voice to really get that area energized and full of that life force, that breath, even like deep intense type of pranayama. I'm thinking actually ujjayi breath, where you're constricting the back of the throat to create kind of an oceanic sound to your breath, would be really helpful to subtly energize this area and help you to feel that confidence and that energy rising into this space, so that you can feel even connected to your heart as well with that moon, and down into the deeper parts of your body, like that gut, kind of speaking from your gut is what I'm feeling with this energy. And ahimsa, I didn't even say what that's about. Ahimsa is not harm. And this is another of the, it might be a yama. I'm not sure. I'm not super, sorry, I can't be like a library of knowledge, but I try and learn my best over time. But yeah, it's either a yama or a niyama. But ahimsa is about having a practice built on not harming others and not harming yourself. And so too, I think there's another aspect there where it's like, yes, in terms of social justice, speaking up for others, but also not speaking against yourself. What types of things are you saying about yourself? How are you telling others about your life? When people give you compliments, do you like turn them down? Do you deny that? When people offer to help, are you denying that too? So there's something there about trying as best as you can to not be harming yourself and others through the voice, the power of the voice. And this is Vishuddha chakra. I don't know how I didn't say the Sanskrit term till now. Here is the affirmation from the Vishuddha chakra. My head and heart communicate freely. I allow my thoughts to engage with my feelings in harmony. And yes, because we have this moon on here, remember the lunar chakra is down in the sacral Svhadisthana. And so this is really important. It's like your throat really wants to have that open movement of energy as much as it can between here and down in the gut space. So if you can try and focus on keeping this energy, like the breath channel open, this will help for your mind, which your throat, the Vishuddha, is the bridge between the heart and the mind. And so if you can keep that open, there's going to be a much more confident energy coming forward of you being able to allow your thoughts to engage with your feelings and feel harmonious in that space and not feel like you're betraying yourself with things that you're saying, or you're doubting what you're saying or your ability, or like the right to express yourself is coming through. So yeah, let's go to the third eye, Agnya chakra, or Ajna, however you want to say it. And we have the Eight of Air that came out, Vulpecula. Yeah, Vulpecula, entrapment, liability, and deception. And the third eye, Agnya, is the chakra of truth, of correct perception, of illusion and distortion, and seeing. And so the fox is known as kind of like this crafty, smart one. And I think too, there's a dual message coming on here. So on one aspect, it's like talking about not being duped by certain conditionings, propagandas, things like this, like perspectives that want you to conform or give your power over immediately, comply, and kind of like lay down and not fight, like almost like a pacifist type of energy. And then on the other side, it's about like maybe even being in this fox energy where there's an aspect of like turning this energy against itself and like using your own smarts to outwit them while they think that they're outwitting you, type of a thing. So I don't know if some of you have been in like some mind games and things like that, but there's something about not being caught off guard or not letting someone get your goose on something, trusting your inner vision, trusting when you go into a meditation and a spirit guide shows you something or tells you something, taking that seriously. Also, for those of you who have prophetic gifts, listening to the warnings, heeding the warnings. When something tries to give you a heads up about an energy so that you can be prepared. And your intuition isn't going to make your anxiety race. I'm going to put that out there too. So it feels like this is breaking through those barriers that I feel like in certain systems have tried and taught you to question these gifts. Really moving out of that. Okay, and we have Saraswati coming forward for this Agnya. Saraswati teaches us how to use the spine, how to connect with the subtle body and speak with truth and dignity and integrity. And from her, all poetry, all musings, art flows. And you know what's funny? When I touched her card, I remembered that I didn't do the energy work for the Vishuddha or throat. So we're going to pause here in the middle of the Agnya reading just to channel in the energy. So I feel like it's supposed to be merged a little bit, so I hope you can forgive me. So we're using this driftwood rabbit tail stick that I created for the Vishuddha. And we're going to draw in Reiki symbol of time, of movement. Okay, so energizing this space, helping to sweep away any energy that is stuck, that is confusing, that is a false guidance in this space, any self-doubt, anything hindering the intuition, calling on the rabbit spirit to support, finding the true voice and awakening out of fear and paranoia. Energizing and activating Vishuddha, helping us to hear with clarity, helping us to feel and express with love and understanding. Okay, so we are still in the Agnya reading. I also think it's notable that Saraswati is standing on a goose. So again, don't let anyone get your goose. Interesting. And the affirmation for this area is I move on with ease and comfortable flow. I move on with ease and comfortable flow. So the third eye space, wanting to remind us of our power, our ability to say no as a full sentence, our ability to move on from certain mental fixations, dogmas, beliefs, locations, teachers, as well as even lifestyles, ways of being. Saraswati is like the river. She likes us to flow. So also allowing wisdom and insight to flow through you, even if you don't accept it or take it on, just letting it come through as a new perspective, exposure in some ways. You might feel some tingling, some opening, like a lighter, almost like buzzy, or pressure even in the third eye. I'm going to draw in another Reiki symbol, bringing in awareness and enlightenment into this Agnya third eye area with this crackle quartz. Channeling in different codes of awareness, helping this energy center to flow. And to recondition your mind with the wisdom of Saraswati. Okay, and I'm hearing her mantra being chanted in my mind, so I definitely feel like mantras, which means bind protection, will help to calm and still and direct and focus your dharana, your mind focus. Okay, so we're going to move on to the Sahasrara chakra, the crown, which is kind of at the crown but also a little above, the ways that our energy is able to lift, come out of the body, the way that we're able to bring in spiritual insight and knowledge. And you had 2 tarot come forward for this, so the Sun and Tukana, the 3 of Wands, so 12 and a 3. Interesting. 3 and 4, these are important numbers. Even 12 adds up to a 3 actually, so 3 is extra significant. This is kind of like a 33. We already had that number come forward in Anahata, the heart. So rebirth, illumination, and visualization is on the Sun. Do we have wolves on one of them? No, maybe not. But the wolves are really standing out to me. That like this chariot, this peacock, this lotus even, pulled by the horses, which we did have come out, their energy for sure, is illuminating and lifting. So it's like something in the throat, in the Vishuddha, is opening your awareness, illuminating something. Visualization and rebirth, helping you to avoid some pain, to heal from some pain, to overcome something in the higher chakras that's coming from the mind. And even the colors in this are very much related to the lower chakras. So it's about like illuminating something in the mind to help you get back down into your pleasure, into your body, into your presence. By getting even like, I could see this as like the wolves are kind of like worshipping this element, whereas we see wolves as being very lunar. It may be that like there's something of like being loyal to your passions, what you're actively doing, and there's like little hands coming off the Sun too, so it feels like there's like outreach, like a greater vision with this visualization too, like something that is like divinely orchestrated, divinely inspired, some like victorious energy download, like bringing something into your life. It feels bigger than just one person though. It kind of feels like the crown, like as it's entering up and like going into like a pool of energy, or like some kind of collective energy, by like activating you in your body, because it's like we need to be able to pull this energy down the nadis too, because they go up and then they come back down, and there's like this cycling of this energy in from this place, from Sahasrara. So Tukana has expression, confidence, and communication on it. And so again, this is just emphasizing the aspect of like pulling energy in, and also being able to analyze and interpret energy that's coming from within the body and from within the life experiences. Because I'm like really drawn to these 2 like more feminine figures who are talking to each other. So it's almost like coming from a place of like being open to others and being able to accept this like love and this connection within your relationships. Like it's going to really activate and keep the Sahasrara open for like spiritually interpreting, coming back into that place of oneness, like again, like finding strength in numbers. And even still, I feel like the throat Vishuddha is a really important, like playing a really important role in, again, like the 3 of fire, the 3 of wands is like a vision card, like enacting something to unite mind, body, and spirit into this like greater goal, this greater vision, to be a part of something. Okay, and I was thinking about her, so I'm really glad that she just came out for the crown. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is, I think of her as being very much connected to Saraswati, and I believe they are in myth as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, of wealth, and I feel like this is like the crown expanding and finding true spiritual wealth outside of these like poverty systems that we're within, or systems based on distortions of wealth and distortions from like lack mentalities based on like having to steal, having to hoard, having to control, rather than working together. And I feel like Lakshmi's coming in to bring a blessing over the crown, to help to reconnect, help to bring us into deeper communion with each other, for this shared vision. And I'm thinking of her mantra too, which is, I believe, Om Shrim Shrim Lakshmiyai Namaha. So yeah, even like singing in songs, she really wants like more celebration to come up and through, to really like be bringing in this joy at this time, because I feel like there's a lot of dense sadness, anger even, that's being activated in the collective, which is really important, but we also need to be bringing in the joy, the invitation to connect with nature through our natural being. Okay, and our beautiful affirmation for Sahasrara is, I am an important part of my social network. So definitely this is about connecting, really finding like yourself outside of yourself. Yeah, and kind of like moving forward from any pain, any suffering. Yeah, being able to really like transcend past some of these like limited personal cycles that have been going on, to find like a deeper, higher purpose in some of these things. And I found this shell, that purple like pearlescent that you're seeing on there is all natural. So this is a beautiful piece. And I'm going to use this to just gently swoop away anything that is still keeping you in a space of loneliness, discontent, feeling like you are going without, or you are lacking faith, and activating Sahasrara to be open, bringing in that soma, an invitation to rest, an invitation to find bliss in your life. Bringing in so much gratitude for your guides, my guides, all the guides that were present through this beautiful reading that I was like spontaneously inspired to do. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so grateful to have been present with you for this session, my friend. If you are interested in any of my other work, I have that linked down below. And I would love to connect with you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And I'd appreciate a like, maybe a subscribe if you like my content that much. And I will see you in another video, my friend.